Hello everybody. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend and now it's back to the grind. So every Monday morning I just need to look where we left off and what's up Derek and Fabic, by the way, once again. Jesus, Fabic, thank you so much. What a way to start this week. I appreciate it. I appreciate, man. Appreciate all support. I just need a second to take a breath, you know. Thank you. Okay, so last week I didn't stream that much, or I didn't stream as much as I would like to, but I still think we did some very nice progress. And then of course mostly in regards to the grass. I think we improved the visuals of it like a tiny bit, made it work a little bit better with the ground and stuff like that. Just small tweaks here and there. Slowly but surely getting closer and closer. And we can see one thing I don't like here right from the get-go. This grass in the far distance, like I've said it multiple times, but like I'm gonna keep saying it because it's very important. So like the grass generates geometry, right? But we only want to generate geometry close to the camera because otherwise we would have like extremely bad performance. So what one needs to do with grass far away from the camera is a lot of magic, I would call it. So you have to play with lighting and textures and stuff like that just to make it appear as if there's actually a lot of grass geometry there. And that's still one of the more weaker parts with this grass. I still haven't exactly figured out how to do it. So we can see here that it's a little bit too bright. We still have some popping, like grass far away becomes very bright for some reason when it should be dark. We can do like a quick test. We can take this patch. I think we can do like this. We can make the let's see, let's go, and then we do this, and then we do this. Yeah. With this high grass, it's going to be extra hard, but like, it's this green we want to achieve. Like it's... And last week we also introduced very tall grass, which is going to make it harder. But if we bring the grass height down a tiny notch, we can bring it... I think we were playing with 0.5 previously. Yeah. This is how we want it to look from far away. We can't achieve exactly this, but we can get very close. And right now this bright green color is quite far from it. Extremely far from it, actually. Is this what I want to do today? Am I up for the task today? Maybe. This is a pretty good think we can actually do this. Let's see what kind of variables we have to play around with right now with the current implementation, and see if we can just make it look a little bit better by dragging some knobs around. That would be very nice. So let's do let's do this. The performance that is actually still quite good. And then we hide. Yeah, we hide these, and then we take this one and we make this grass render extremely. That's one thing as well. Yeah, we make this grass render from extremely far away. We make this render only close up, and then we check. We can start with the easy part. So we limit this one to 0.8. We limit this one to 0.8. So this is how we want it to look. The right one. The left one is going to be the one trying to mimic it. And it's definitely, the color needs to be way brighter. Let's also do this and does the fog also affect the grass color because you have light blue for the fog, if I remember correctly? Yeah, it should be. It should be. It's very restrictive right now. Honestly, it's not too bad. It's a little bit too bright. That's about it, I think. Yeah, the fog should affect it. It's just that I think we're pretty conservative on when we let the fog, like how far we let the fog move, or like when we start drawing fog. Is it this one? So yeah, it should affect it. Yeah, Jesus, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Thank you, Derek, as well. Love these streams and love this project. Appreciate it. Do you ever plan to do any kind of closed or public testing? I know that's likely far out from now. Yeah, it's quite far, but I'm definitely gonna, as soon as I have, like, it doesn't even have to be a vertical slice, but just as soon as I have some gameplay loop in place that I'm proud of, then I'm gonna start let people test it. Like, because I value people input, so I want to get it out there as quickly as possible and let people test it and see what they think and listen to their comments. And probably gonna start with people that has been supporting me, you know. So thank you once again. And Fabic, well, you have only grass to look at. If there's more things in the world, it might not be that visible. Yeah, this was a very good start to the week. And that's definitely true. Like, the more grass we have, or the more things we have in the scene, the less apparent this becomes. But that's also a reason for me wanting to, like, if I can make it look good, or better at least, with only grass and prototype textures, then it will look good with more things in. Yeah. Exactly, that's probably where we're gonna end up. An alpha beta vertical slice of a horizontal slice. Hell yeah. Exactly. I want to change this a tiny bit more because I noticed that we get the extra light artifacts when we have something that looks like this, I think. Or is that the case? And also, yeah, so now we're looking at the back sides of the grass. So this looks a little bit better than the bright side of the grass from far away. So we can compare it to this. This is way too bright, right? So let's change this one. So we go 500, 500. So here we can compare how it looks from far away and how it should look. On the bright side. Yeah, I just have to say again, thank you so much for the donation. It's very, very much appreciated. And all the kind words as well. So this looks like shit. This looks a little bit better, but you know. You have the problem with extremely tall grass as well. The popping is gonna be more visible, but so that's the lighter part, and if we run away, like extremely tall grass would love to be able to support it, but you're gonna get, like, it's impossible to not get the popping, right? And if we look at this one when we run away, honestly, I think it comes down to, if we take a look at this one, and let's go, it's this one, yeah. So we take this part and then we take a look. I have these two, plain and normal decrease multiplier. Does it actually make it? The color. Yeah, color is the biggest one, I think. We're a little bit too aggressive there, I would say. Yeah, this one has the most power. 0.2. 0.2. Is that possibly what we want to do? .2. So I can just explain, does the wind have some effect on the grass far away? Currently no, that's a very good point. Like, if we can animate some noise texture based on wind from far away, it's going to look even better. But let me say this, so like, the idea was that, so like the grass is darker towards the bottom, right, and brighter at the top. That gives it a very nice ambient occlusion effect, because like less light is going to reach the bottom of grass naturally. So the idea was that when we go far away, we're only going to see the top of the grass, and that's why we have made it way brighter. It's just I possibly have overdone it. Yeah, we can see here. Yeah, we don't want to go that bright. We don't want to go that bright. Definitely not. So I think we're gonna do this. Let's open up the shader and check what we have. We have a grass lower color decrease multiplier here, which has a lot of, which affects the grass a lot. And it's this one. We use it in 4 places, or 2 places only. When it's not moving, that's why you see one color blob. That is definitely true. But so yes, like if you have a grass field, and you know, and we get a wind that moves over the grass field, you're gonna get this nice animated pattern. Pretty much you can see it in like movies, in like Spirited Away. They do it in a very nice way. So like if that wind moves over a patch very far from the camera, then we also need to do some animation, right? But we don't have grass straws to animate, so we're gonna have to animate the texture. And I think that might be it's going to be tricky, but if we can get that working, it's gonna be beautiful. Yeah. What's up, Jacoby? I got a point in my hand. I don't know. I got a joint in my hand. Okay, nice. Jeez. Took me a couple of seconds. Enjoy. Okay, so here we have it. When we output the color on the ground, we do it by taking the color for the grass straw at this point, and we multiply it by a lerp. That is, we basically calculate a float between 0 and 1, and based on distance. And if we're extremely far away, it's 1, so it becomes this one. If it's close, it becomes this one. And the problem is that we get to this value way too early, and that's not what we want to do. So my question is, I'm wondering if I want to multiply this one up here instead. I want to try it at least. Because even if we're extremely far away, at most I think we want to blend this one and this one in some way. Not entirely go with this one or entirely go with this one. I think that's what we want to do. Still too dark. But if we then move this one to 0.5, so 1 too bright, 0.5, 6, 7, 5. 5 is probably... it's pretty good. Like, this is one of those things we're gonna change a lot during the run of the development, I think. We're a bit too quick on it, though. But it's way better than this, at least. And like, this is pretty good. Like, if we could reduce the popping as well with the algorithm I've been talking about, then we could probably allow for this big of, or this much grass. Oh fuck. But yeah, let's try it again. Do yeah, we can draw a long line of grass. That's a good idea. Let's see if I can manage to do it. Yeah, extremely tall grass is going to screw it up for us. I think the result we have now is better, but quite not there. Like, look at this. Good morning, Harukanan. Yeah, some parts of it look very nice. If we zoom in, you can actually see we need more noise as well. We need more noise. That's another thing we're gonna add. But this is a... like, I'm also thinking about, let's see here. Extremely tall grass, extremely hard to handle. And another thing that is hard to handle is, I think we can do like this. Terraform, and let's go with 0.5 maybe, something like this. And then we add grass here. Let's add it with let's add this one. So there we go. Like, when we have grass on an edge like this, so behind this grass is a distance before we reach the ground, that also extremely highlights the culling or the popping. Wonder if one could do something with rim light. I don't know. Slowly but surely we're gonna get there. Like, it's not too bad. Can you make the taller grass wider when it's far away? Ooh, that is also... We can definitely play around with that. Definitely. Ooh, I want to try that. Let's do it. Like, also, best case scenario, I would like to be able to support grass this tall. But like, if I can't make it look extremely pretty, or if I can't make it look acceptable, we might lower the max size a tiny bit. Yeah, let's play around some more. So we could go up here, and then we have some variables here. Let's add a header, I think, as well. Mesh and optimization properties. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good one. We can add grass width to distance ratio multiplier. What's up by me? I hope there's something good to see today. Isn't there always? Isn't there always? Thank you, Fabic. I love it. Like, yes, have you seen the state of AAA games? You're putting them to shame. Some of them, possibly, but not all of them. Like, I've been also... Quote, it doesn't get any better than this, unquote. Good morning, Defesmo. Like... Yeah, so lately, whenever I get some time to game these days, I've been playing a game called Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm a huge fan. This is not a AAA game though, it's more like 2As, I think. But like, when I run around in that world, I also see a lot of popping, and they don't use geometry shaders, so it's basically just like quad popping. And like, I know that's a huge problem, not only in that game, but that has helped me to like set limits on myself. Like, if it's a hard problem enough to get quad popping to look good, so if I can just make this geometry shader popping look a little bit better, I will be happy. No, don't chill. What is chill? But let's try with this one. Grass width to distance ratio multiplier. To distance ratio multiplier. Then I would also like, let's go with 0. And then I would like something like grass height to distance ratio multiplier. We're not ready to use this one just yet. Float. Do we want one here? Yeah, we do. This one we want to become bigger. This one we want to become smaller. Shilling is selling other stuff. Okay, but I'm still human, man, you know? I do stuff I enjoy on my free time, and sometimes I wanna talk about them. If you're referring to me. Yeah, let's try with this one. I think this one is the easier one. Although... this one might... If we implement this one without this one, this will actually, it will make the grass possibly look better from a distance, but will highlight the popping. Because I guess the idea is, like, the further away we get from the grass, the wider we make the grass to make it look like it's more grass. But when those grass straws finally gets removed, we're gonna see a lot of popping. And the idea with this one is, like, the further away we are, the smaller the grass is. So instead of instantly showing them, we scale them. The problem with this one is the tessellation. And that's a big problem, which I think we have the solution to, I just haven't managed to implement it. But let's try this one. So grass width to distance multiplier. And then we have width multiplier. Okay, so it's this one we want to alter, and we want to alter it based on thought we had. Yeah, let's take the... no. Let's take this one. Distance light correction constant. Ground grass colorized bounds. Is it actually T subdivision we have? Or I have hidden this? Yeah. Fuck, I want to rename this one. What's up, Little Miss Murder? I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, the name of this one isn't... I guess it's good for what it was initially meant to do. But then we use it for a lot more things. Okay, T subdivision. Are we gonna keep that name? Yes. Yeah, so straightforward approach would be to do, let's see here, T subdivision is bigger if we're further, or T subdivision is 1 if we're far away from the grass straw. T subdivision is low if we're close to the grass straw. Yeah. So, like an easy way to do it would be grass width to distance ratio multiplier, and then we could do T subdivision multiplied with this one. But not really. Little Miss Murder, trauma dumping alert. I'm ready. I have to implement a microwave radar with no reference materials in English. Okay. Yeah, that's a rough one. What is the reference material in German? I wish. I guess we could do it like this. Let's implement it in a little bit of a simpler way. So grass width to distance ratio multiplier. We can pack both of these into a vector 4 because we want a min and a max, and then we can do vector, and we do 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then we can do lerp dot x dot y T subdivision. So with distance multiplier, we lerp given how far away from the camera we are. Like this is 1 when we're extremely far away, 0 otherwise. So we can do x, y. So now we have with distance multiplier, and then we multiply this one here. So the idea is, if we're far, x, y. If we're close to the camera, we multiply the width with this one. If we're far away from the camera, we multiply it with this one. And between those two limits, we lerp. What's up, Cooler SK? And maybe I should say Deutsch. Okay, German. I don't even know what German is. German? I'm me. Yeah, sounds familiar. Imports on the rise around the west. Have you actually noticed like imports from the west in Australia increasing? That's interesting. Okay, but Little Miss Murder, what is your approach? Are you gonna rely a lot on Google Translate, or do you have any other approach? Massively. Oh, that's cool, I guess. Yeah, the playing field is changing quite a lot around the whole globe right now. It feels like there's a lot of change in motion. That will be part of the approach. Well, like maybe not the best. What is the word I'm looking for? Starting point to a project, but like with a lot of the tools we have today, I think it should be doable, even though you can't read the language the original documents are in. Yeah. And okay, yeah, that's true. Bits don't lie. Generally bits don't lie, I would say. I mean, insane globalization going on. Yeah, definitely. What's up, Jacob? GPT 4.0 can handle translation, good for coding. Okay, so with distance multiply, let's see if we can get this one to affect it. Not taking sides, it's just happening. Yeah, I understand that. Let's see what we have here. Oh yeah, of course. Float 4. Half the people I talk to these days in person can't speak English. Yeah, that doesn't feel that good. Like not being able to communicate, I get that. What's up, Davioli? Let's see if we have any change whatsoever using this variable. So if we take dispatch, what the hell? We take dispatch and then we go down to grass width distance ratio. We have 1 here. Okay, that makes sense. 0 if we're close. Oh yeah. So I guess we want 1 when we're close, and let's try 5 when we're far away. I just want to make like worst case. Do we get any difference? Let's change this one to 5. Yeah, we do. Let's do 15, 15. Yeah, we're definitely getting wider grass. 5. Thin grass, thicker grass. And then if we do 25, 25. Oh yeah, I think. Yeah, we're gonna get the worst popping here, but if we can combine this with height reduction as well, I think it won't be too bad. And then I'm playing around with extremely big values here. 3 would probably, yeah, difference. Yeah. Good morning, Geralt. Let's see. I think there's a lot of chauvinism. That pronunciation was probably not correct. And thank you, Devioli, by the way. Didn't see it. Yeah, the grass is starting to take shape. In one of the gaming communities I frequent, players from certain demographic will refuse to speak English even though they are more than capable of it. The fuck is happening? It feels like just like 10 years ago it was more, 15 years ago maybe, like English was sort of seen as the global language, right? It feels like there's a lot more resistance towards that today. And Devioli currently in the process with a company to figure out if we find a contract for a tech lead role in their company. Oh, good luck, good luck. And on the hobby side, oh, procedural animation, love it. I'm looking forward to the day when I can finally tip my toes in it. Chauvinism. Kinda funny, mathematically my solution makes absolute sense. Can relate, but once implemented the result is way too small. Once again, can definitely relate. Yeah, Fabric, there's going to be a lot of playing with the values. When I work with international developers, we just auto-translate in Teams. Really no need to English only with all the live translators. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I honestly have no idea like how good the auto translations are these days. I know they are good, but like it feels like there might cause some problems. I might send you a few messages, Devioli, about that. And I mean, you can talk about like as long as people are sort of friendly, you know, you can pretty much talk about anything. I guess. Did you watch the GDC video from the Ninja Grass Boy? Are we talking about Ghost of Tsushima? Yeah, and I can think that live translation with very technical stuff might lead to some problems. And Little Miss Murder, are you using something similar to height map to control the height of the grass closer to the edges? Yes. We have a texture that is called terrain data. The red channel is height, and the green channel is the grass properties. Right now it's only height, I think. So we can actually decide to only draw short grass. And then we can also decide to draw extremely tall grass like this. So yeah, we can the player will have some options, what kind of grass, where he or she wants that kind of grass, and so on. Yeah. And thank you. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. But yeah, I think let's see here. If we take this one, oh, this is perfect. Okay, and then we change the values of the width multiplier for this one. So right now we have 1 and 1. If we go, we can see here the difference. If we change it to be way wider, we can already see some nice So if we leave it at 5 maybe, we should be able to see yeah, I think we can see yeah, it's extremely wide, but I think we're gonna have, this is very nice. I think this is very nice. It's gonna be a lot of tuning, but it definitely helps a lot. I want to do I would like patch lines. I think I want patch lines for my terrain as well, so we can see the patches. So that's going to be one extra line, but let's add it. Do we need to send in some extra data for that one? Mesh grid color, mesh grid width. Yeah, we're gonna send in some data. Okay. We're gonna add one line more on this grid. So right now we have grid lines, which are the thin ones. We have distance lines, which are the thicker ones. And then we're gonna add one more that shows each patch. Make it a little bit easier to debug. And then we're gonna draw extremely tall grass on 2 patches, and then we're going to change the width values on one of them. Appreciate the lurk, a little Miss Murder, and good luck with the problem you're facing. And then we're going to draw extremely large grass on both patches, change the width constant on one of them, and just see what kind of visuals we get. I think that's a good. Mesh patch line width maybe. mesh patch line. Let's go mesh grid delta. Yeah, patch line delta. I don't know what the default is, we're just gonna leave it like this. Close that window, you're sitting in the draft, that's why you're sick. Yeah, like I was sick the whole last week, but I became non-sick at the end of it, but then I went to a football game this Friday, and I don't think that was very good for the sickness. But I'm feeling way better this week. And you gotta keep the windows open this time of year. It's extremely hot already. It's tiresome. Yeah. There's a lot of variables in play right now. I think I'm gonna use the same color for this line as the mesh grid. Yes, indeed I was. Okay, and then I guess we're just gonna like shoehorn in this line in. Where do we have this function? Jesus, I need calculate grid value. Yeah, we're gonna so we're gonna do ground color here is going to be can I write it like this, or is this too? Let's see. Ground color is equal to, yeah, it's a bit too, maybe. Calculate grid value, distance grid. I wonder if I want to do it like this. Basically, we just want to add one of these more. Calculate grid value dot position world space, and here we do patch delta and mesh patch width. Yeah, the heat is insane. Like, I don't like it at all. Like, with all the nice things we have today, it's easy to like run away from cold, I would say, but I don't even know what to do against the heat. Actually, we just want to do mesh grid color here. Otherwise, ground color, I suppose. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, now we just need to send in these values. I wonder... terrain patch. Patch. Terrain. Yeah. I think it's dimension we want to put in here, but we might need to offset it a bit. So maybe we should multiply it by 0.5. Let's see what we get. I think that's good, yeah. But maybe we don't want them this wide. I don't know what a good value is. 0. That's not the one. Mesh, here we go. 0.15 might be good enough. So what if we have these? Do I want to go a little bit thicker? 0.2, yeah. I just alt-tabbed to Unity and found I was running my game prototype on full blast for hours called Carbon Police. Okay, so you are the one we should blame for this heat. Nah, but been there, been there. I usually can hear it on my computer when I don't turn off my game. Let's see, do we have an... okay. Okay, let's try this now. Let's go with... let's add some grass and... oops. Yeah. There we go. Cooler is K. I think it's called summer. Yeah. I prefer spring. Okay, so now if we take the left one here, we change the values of the width to 1 and 5. Yes. Jesus, that's a sick improvement, I would say. Look at this. Look at this. That's way better, isn't it? But then of course the popping is going to be a little bit more visible. Oh yeah, I've never I never actually understood that. So like the southern part of the hemisphere, they have like our seasons but flipped, or the seasons are flipped. Is that how it is? Ah, it's way better with width. And then we have the popping, but that's okay, I think. Yeah, this is an improvement, I would say. And if we can just get the popping correct... Ooh, yeah, if we can just fix the popping as well, we would be golden. It's the southern right. But yeah, but how cold does it get in Australia during the winter season? I want to compare. Or where you live, I mean. We might have gone a little bit overboard with the multiplier here, but if we just tune it down a tiny bit... Yeah, it's way better. It's way better. It's... Yeah, we're gonna go with 4, and I want to try it. Oh, winter is colder and summer is hotter than the northern part. Is that actually the case? Like, how cold does it get in Australia? In parts of Sweden here during winter we have like extreme cold, I would say. Oops, that's not what I want. I think we might even be a little bit too hard on... Let's see here. The distance here, I think we can turn this up a bit. 100 maybe is too much. Poland used to be minus 40 to 40 degrees. What the fuck? 40 degrees. Oh, that's extremely hot. Yeah, that's true on me. Derek, you know, if wanted to do testing somewhere sooner, than a completed game loop. You could do testing for your terraform system at some point. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I could, like, if we can get some tools in place and some nice animation, like we could probably do a vertical slice of the terraforming and then release that and get feedback. Definitely. Like, I'm at a crossroads at how I mechanically want the player to do the terraforming. So it would be nice to get some early testers on that, definitely. There's a reason the South Pole Antarctica is solid ice, as opposed to the North Pole that is melting. Is that it? Fabic, I would love to get information about all the edge cases. Yeah, but okay, yeah, this, like, changing the width of the grass helps a lot. Yeah, slowly but surely we're getting there. Better and better grass, definitely. And then we have the popping, but that's when I'm feeling a little bit better, we're gonna do a second try at getting the popping to the popping algorithm to work. And if we can get that in place, it will be so amazing. So it basically, when we tessellate, we take all the newly tessellated triangles and we base the height of the grass on those triangles to be so the closer the grass on a triangle, the height of that grass depends on the life duration of the triangle underneath it. So the younger the triangle is in the tessellation stage, the smaller the grass is. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Oh, now you're really putting my geographic knowledge and the viewers' geographic knowledge on test here, Fabic. I honestly have no idea about Antarctica versus Arctis. Is that the north one? Okay, I think we're gonna leave. One sec. I think this is it for the grass visuals on a distance for today. I want to move on to something relatable, or related, I mean. If we take a look at this patch here, and we check wireframe. So this is the wireframe of this patch right now. Way more geometry than we need. So we're actually doing tessellation, even though we don't have any grass here, and that's what we are going to fix. So we're gonna read the terrain data values, and if they are bigger than 0, then we know that there's grass here and we need to tessellate it. Otherwise we don't tessellate. But let me say this. Oh, one sec, I just need to run and blow my nose real quick. One sec. Fucking hell. Okay, let's see. Let me say this. Currently, we have a terrain data texture. Red channel is height. Green channel is grass. It's just grass. Because right now I think, like, the only thing we do with the green channel is change the height and the width a tiny bit on that green channel, and we also in some cases color the ground. So I think we can do, yeah, which currently leads to us being able to do this, because we have a little bit of a mismatch here. So here we color the grass, but we don't actually spawn any grass. But I want to pack more things into that variable, like density. And if those are the only two values I want in the green channel, so I want density and a grass length basically, then that would be quite easy. I think we can pack two floats into one float. But I don't know if that's the case just yet, so we're gonna pack, when we play around with density later on, we're gonna do it in the blue channel, I think. But right now we have enough data to not tessellate these part at least, so yeah. So here's a shocker for everyone. I might have mentioned I was getting an LG 77 OLED. Yes, you were. And right when you were, I was shilling. I remember. I shilled at TV series. And Game Changer. Yeah, I can imagine. If you don't mind me asking, what television did you have before? Like, was the contrast extremely big? Or not that big? Okay, let's fix this. It should be an easy fix. So it all comes down to we want to affect the hull shader, possibly the patch constant function as well. Yeah, and that's basically what we wanted to do. I want to see here. We have yeah, this is where we want to do our work, I think. Yeah. So right now we decide this subdivision based on distance. We want to add I don't know if we want to do it here. Maybe we want to read from the texture within this one and work with it. We might also read from it. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So right now we read from the texture in the terrain data texture. We read from it in the geometry shader. I wonder what is best, if we read it here, or if we read it in the vertex shader and just store the data and let this one interpolate it. Interpolation should be way cheaper than I wanna do some performance testing on this one as well. To do, possibly move texture reading to vertex shader and rely on interpolation here. Let's see. Okay, so you went from LED 2080 tech to OLED. It wasn't so bad, but I wanted all the latest tech. Yeah, I've only heard good things about LG this time around. My television is also extremely old. I don't even want to say. Maybe I said it last Friday, but I've been looking into getting a new one as well. When you overlay the texture on the ground, do you MIP map it? No, we don't. We always read from the MIP level 0. Depends on what texture you're talking about. Terrain data texture, we don't MIP map this one. Good morning, Desai. The overlay grid. Okay, so right now the grid texture is actually, it's not a texture at all. We calculate it based on floats. It got issues. Ooh. What kind of issues? Ah, we're talking about aliasing issues? Yeah. We could fix this. So right now this is not a texture. We calculate the grid lines with mathematics instead, and that's why we're having aliasing issues. We could, I think we could do let's see here. Aliasing. Better? We could just do the easy approach to, so basically we have the grids are extremely bright compared to the underlying color, so we could do a nice lerp here, I think. Alias. That's not how you pronounce it, is it? Yeah, I think we can, like, there exists a lot of approaches to reduce this aliasing. But the easiest one would probably be to just do, let's do. We're gonna do say it faster. Pass on that one. Hey, listen here. English isn't my my main language. You might have noticed. Let's see here. I wonder if I want to do. Float for. Let's just do it like this. Terrain base color. Or actually, ground color is equal to terrain base color. Let's see if we can reduce the aliasing. Not fix it entirely, but reduce it. Oh. Aliasing, say it in Swedish. I don't even know the Swedish word for it. Let's see if I can find it. It's not something you use in your everyday language, you know, or everyday speak. Aliasing. I don't even think we have a Swedish word for it. What the hell? Okay, maybe. I don't think what these people suggest gives it. I don't think they. Okay, according to this person, in Swedish you could say kantighet, pixelering, or blockighet, but they actually, I think they are something else. Yeah, kantighet is more like angularity. Pixelering, that's pretty straightforward. Pixelization, I guess. And blockighet is more like blockiness. So I don't think we have a specific word for it. But yeah. Okay, so what do we have here? Do we actually have an error? Did I introduce an error? Yeah, this one. Float 4. So yeah, a lot of aliasing. Let's see if we can fix it. Do we have distance, input position, world space? Now we want to do distance to camera position. Am I not using it? We have view direction, I don't care about that, but we should be having let's do I think there should be a variable. That's not what we want. Like I don't know if you had the same thing, but when I was growing up, when somebody came to you and said, "Can you say X 10 times fast?" It usually led to like sounding like someone was saying something else, and the thing they were usually leading to was usually something bad. So I try to avoid that during streams. Ah, come on, we should have. This should be an easy question. Oh yeah, Unity, HLSL, camera position. Yeah, don't want to become PG Doodle. Here we should have something. World space camera position. Yeah, hopefully we can use this one. I don't know if I'm including the correct world. correct files. Yeah, unless you map the texture overlay, it will be aliased, right? Yeah, but we can fade out the colors based on distance, so we can make it more like the ground color. Like in my custom outline shader here, we have some custom anti-aliasing stuff. It's still a bit aliased, but we have made it much better. And it's just the easy trick of reducing the alpha depending on distance to the camera. And it works surprisingly well. Fade out isn't good enough. I think, let's see here. Fade out isn't good enough. We're gonna add one of these as well to test it. But we should be able to do float grid color multiplier is equal to distance. We have one of these, right? And then we try this one, and then we do input position world space. Ooh. Inverse lerp. Min max value. Min 0 and max, I don't know, 20.0 maybe. Up. 1 minus. And then we just do this. That should be about do it. Yeah, let's just use debug show grid here. Let's try this one. What's up, Alf? I hope you have success in developing the game. Thank you, appreciate it. I hope you have success in your projects as well. What about double buffered grid texture that is MIP mapped? Oh, one sec. Yeah, like if we could do this texture based, it would be very nice. Like the grid lines are not set in stone, so I usually like try different values for my terrain, and I want the grids to dynamically change with it, you know. So for instance, if we spawn a terrain that is double the resolution, I want the double amount of lines. Could possibly be done with texture, I don't know. Let's see, ground color is equal to lerp between grid color multiplier times ground color grid color multiplier. One sec. This is how I want to use it, right? So if we're close to the camera, this one is 0. Let's try it. Not exactly what I want. Is my inverse lerp not clamping the values? And then we go to... maybe it's even easier to just do this one. But we want to do, I don't know, 10.0, 50 maybe. Yeah, we still have it close by. Yeah, that's... it's a little bit better, but not that much better, honestly. And yeah, if we want to go out of scope, you could have a thread runner that keeps a cache of ideal grid texture and recreates them when needed. Like, that is also... jeez, that is honestly what we should be doing, I think. 100%. So during startup in terrain base, we create a grid texture given all of the setups. So when we start the game, we create the texture and then we feed the texture to the shader. So then it would be dynamic for every time we run the game, at least. But yeah. Yeah, yeah, maybe that's tomorrow's task. But I don't know. Welcome back, Little Miss Murder. And now we're focusing on aliasing on the grid. And you could also... oh, I should have thought about this one. Yeah, this is probably the best result we could get with this approach. But then again, yeah, if we generate the texture on startup, we get the aliasing for free. But it's work, yeah. But I don't think it's that much work. We could probably do it. But okay. Let's just try to not focus on the aliasing grid lines, and let's move on to getting this tessellation to be based on the number of grass we have. So we want to read. I'm just gonna copy it. This one. All work is real work. Even grid line aliasing problems, it is. So the hull shader patch constant function, this one decides how much we tessellate something, and it does it by calculating subdivision here. And I wonder, early exits doesn't really, usually you don't get any performance boost of it in shaders, but I wonder what the case is here. Because I wonder if we could do, we sample it and then we take if terrain data.g is equal to 0.0, we're gonna have a hard line there. Then we just then we just then we set output dot edge 0 1. So we read the grass value. If the grass value is 0, then we don't do any tessellation. Oh, UV 378. Yeah, so we probably want to do yeah, we need to calculate the UV here as well. Arnav, please take my name. I have no idea what you mean. Where do we instantiate the output? We instantiate it here. Oh yeah. Yes. We want to go with a value of 1 here. So 0 throws it away. 1 we render as is. Great. And then we have grass tessellation still works. Oh, this is very cool. So we don't tessellate at all here, and just about here where we start the value, that's where we start tessellating. That's pretty cool. How does it look for this one? Wow. Having a value of 1 is a little bit too strict. Arnav, can you tell me how you use VS Code with Unity? I think it's pretty straightforward. Unity documentation has some nice write-ups for it. VS Code is for the elderly. Actually, it kind of is. Yeah, so the thing here is that we actually have, right now we have, if the value is 0, we don't tessellate. If it's anything above 0, we tessellate, which means that we tessellate here. What we want to base it on instead is actually the variable called ground grass colorize bounds. I think it's this one. No, it might be this one. Yeah, this one. So we can do ground grass colorize bounds. So instead of checking this, we check if it's less than grass ground grass colorized bounds dot Z, I think it was. Yeah, the problem here, yeah, maybe. I don't think it's that big of a problem. But this is very cool. Look at this. That's very nice. If you really care, you use rider right. Like, even when I was younger, I was one of those that, like, the IDE isn't that big of a deal to me. I just want it to be lightweight and have some simple functionality. And as soon as I started using VS Code, I just stuck to it. I don't know what is one of the best features that riders have compared to VS Code, or that rider has compared to VS Code. Yeah, this is good. This is exactly what we want here. Yeah, sure, VS Code. Yeah, and that quote does the job, unquote. That is also a elderly quote, isn't it? Okay, this is very nice. Does real grandpas use Vim / Neo Vim? Yeah, that I've also heard. You have to give it to them though. Like, when you see someone that is comfortable in Vim, use Vim, it looks pretty damn cool. I wonder, however, I wonder if we were a little bit too tough on it right now. No, I don't think we are. Or actually, maybe. Okay, yes. We're a little bit too tough on this right now, because what we're actually doing, for this triangle, we're taking the middle point and then we read from the grass texture. This middle point is entirely outside, so we don't get anything, but we would like to see a little bit of grass here, I think. So if we compare this to I don't know, 0.01. Yeah, we actually get some grass here. Okay, so comparing to that one is not entirely correct. Rider syncs with Unity and knows connections. Fuck, am I gonna have to look into this? Maybe I wanna use Rider. NeoVim is not for grandpas. NeoVim is for new kids on the block who wanna look cool while having no idea what they're actually doing. Yeah. I made a decision pretty early on in my programming career, or whatever you want to call it, Do I want to be a poser or not? And I chose not pretty early on, so I never dived into Vim or anything like that. I just keep it simple. Does the job. Rider has refactoring and asset linking, so it knows which assets are linked to your scripts and stuff like that. It's a whole other level. Yeah, I might look into it. And that's why I'm using Rider. I have no idea what benefits I have over Visual Studio other than really cool shortcuts. But those shortcuts are probably pretty damn cool, right? That is true, Fabic, that is true. And yes, I'm me. Yes, what the fuck, man? I chill one game, and you... and I didn't really chill it. Yeah. And now you're here. Like, do you work for Rider, man? Do you work for Rider? How to cut, and I use Vim or Nano when I need, because I'm in a terminal for whatever stupid reason that might be. Exactly, like that. The only time I've used Vim is when I've tried to correct some or fix a git merge conflict. That's pretty much it. But like write an entire game only using Vim as the editor, or whatever the correct term for it is, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just joking. Okay, so we have to find some middle ground here, because when we read the texture here, we're gonna get a non-zero value. Oh shit. 0.5. That's better, but and maybe this is as good as it gets. 0.05, but that is actually 0.5 times this one, so maybe that is what we should go with. I'm okay with like you could also do this is probably good enough, I would think. I'm a little bit worried about this one though. We might get no, I'm not. Okay. Fabic, can you introduce a virtual circle between those two circles? Which circles are we talking about? Rider helps a lot when you want to refactor classes / functions and keep Unity in check. Dasai, I have a question. Okay, let's see. Early on stuff. Like, that is an extremely good question. So people really advocate on marketing early. but I'm not good at making videos since it takes so much time. Yeah, definitely. At what point YouTube videos, etc. makes sense? I don't know if I'm the correct person to answer that one. Like me personally, I love to do videos. I just haven't been making them lately because I've been focusing on streaming instead. So for me, like, of course I wanted to get out there as early as possible. That's why I created videos early. But it was also, like, I really just wanted to make videos. I've seen, like, marketing doesn't have to be videos either. I've seen a lot of people have success just on Twitter. Like, very short, beautiful GIFs every other day and build a following that way. So, like, if you don't want to do 10-minute videos, you can do quick, pretty GIFs instead. It's a hard question, man. You're doing low-level stuff right now, but when you start doing overreaching code, things break easy. Yeah, and I relate. Yeah, so when we draw patches, let's take a look at how it works. We have this circle, which we use to calculate... we actually do it by rectangle, I think, nowadays. So we get the vertices of the patch, and yes, we have two rectangles telling us the affected vertices when we draw. Because when we do height changes, we want to change the height of one set of vertices, and then we want to change the normals of a little bit of a bigger area. But when we draw grass, we don't do that anymore. And you're not here for fame, right? No, I'm not. Fame, like, the more people know about your work, the easier it is to get out there, you know. But like, I just want people to see my work. I don't care about, like, the classical definition of fame. Let's see here, by the way. Devioli, definitely agree. Solving math problems just gives you that extra boost indeed. Yeah, that's a great answer. Short formats are king. TikTok or Twitter, or yeah, shorts on YouTube, or I don't know what it's called in Instagram, Reels, or is that Facebook? I don't know. Yeah, and like short video, like the shorter your videos are, the less work you need to put into them. So yeah, if you don't have that much time, short videos definitely. Yeah, fame and fortune, the big two. Okay, but I think this is just one of those small performance increases. So now we don't tessellate nearly as much as we did previously. This is very nice. I still wonder about these cases though. Yeah, I think we get one extra straw here, so compared to this, yeah, one extra. Or is it two? No, just one extra, I think. Yes, Devioli, I have no restrictions like that. Like, I let people post a lot of stuff. Like, I want people to post a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna check that link out as well. Like, but I'm more restrictive on, like, from what source the links are. If I, like, I'm more skeptical towards links. I don't know where they are from, but like linking a tweet, that's 100% allowed. Depending on the content. I don't want people linking like snuff or shit like that. Imi, how do you feel about the whole Unity versus Unreal thing? To a Unity dev, it's kind of moot, right? One sec. And Fabric, we're gonna get to that soon. Unity versus Unreal. Haven't really thought about it that much, honestly. Every time Unity does some weird decisions, you know, like the monetization thing they did last year, that's when I start looking at Unreal Engine again. Every time something like that happens. The tool, I would... It's my... how should I put this? With the knowledge I have, I think Unreal Engine is the better engine. Like, for complicated 3D games, I definitely think Unreal is the better engine. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of visual programming either, honestly. And yeah, Fabric, when it comes like this problem, that is definitely true. So depending on the way we build up our mesh, we might have a bit more problems here than here. Because this one, like in this case, these two vertices are on the green. Yeah. But I wonder, like, depending on the setup we have later on, I don't think it will be visible. With the current setup, it's not visible. It's just... we tessellate a lot more than we need to, but it might be worth it. Damn, this is a lot of geometry. Yeah, Davioli has a lot of good tips. Consistency is, wow, that's one hell of a tip. Like, consistency is king. It truly fucking is. My experience with Unreal Engine, so like I'm a little bit of an outsider when it comes to Unreal Engine. I think I have a total of 20 hours in the engine or something like that. So when it actually comes to working with it, I don't know which tool is easier. It's my knowledge that Unity is easier to work with than Unreal Engine, but that Unreal Engine is better. But like, this is not a well-researched opinion, it's just what I feel. The size says Unity chokes really hard in larger projects. At my full-time job, we're using Unity and projects is somewhat big. And Unity is painfully slow at this stage. You might be able to speed it up by doing some, like, structuring the compilation and stuff like that. Unity opens in 5 seconds, Unreal in get a coffee time. Yeah, like, there's also a reason I work with Unity. I love it. I mean, Unity is slow. There was someone in the Twitch chat, or someone, Dasai, that works in a very big Unity project. Delete the Lumen folder. Yeah. Some of the technology, like, I'm more impressed with the technology that Unreal Engine or Epic Games shows than Unity shows lately. This tessellation, like, okay, so one task I also have, like, I said that I wanted my grass to be, I want to support different density of grass. So maybe I want to paint here, and we want to paint it such that we have, yeah, I want to be able to paint density grass. So in some, I wonder, it's extremely ugly low density. Let's see how low density grass looks. Like, do I really want to support a patch that looks like this? With some additional improvements? I don't know. You need a way to have grass ponder out. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Like, let's take a look here. Right now we're pondering it out by height, and that's when we get this type of visual, but it's still a pretty hard line. But if we go with way less density, it doesn't really look that good. And that is also true, Davioli. Yeah, like right now I'm, but then again, like, we will have a lot of different angles. I don't know. Like, you will be able to look at grass from this angle. So in this case, let's see. Let's do like, if we do grass, and then you, yeah, depending on how dense it is, you change the ground color as well. But like, doing grass density based on tessellation only, it's very limited. So tessellation is, the tessellation algorithm we use are always, what is the word I'm looking for? Multiplications of a value. So like if we only rely on tessellation for grass density, there's really no middle ground between this and this. I don't think, no. But then of course we can also rely on some geometry shader logic to make it more sparse. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, if we would also do I don't know. Or if we do wonder if you could probably do where do we have it? Yeah, the question is if we could change it in such a way that sparse grass like this looks okay. Alright, good luck, Dev Jolly. Let's see. To an experienced coder like me, Unity all the way for prototyping, etc. And Unity is the new Flash, yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. Like, yeah, with my limited knowledge, it feels like Unreal Engine is just a little bit harder to work with. I'm a way bigger fan of the short grass. It's starting to look better from a distance as well. I'm not as turned away from it as I previously was. Do I have some other task here with... This one as well, yeah, that's true. I don't know if I like how the shadows in the grass is. It looks pretty good. So ambient constant and shadow. Do you want to adjust these? I wonder if this will even be visible, but so like right now we have an ambient term and like how much shadow. You probably want ambient light to be lower towards the bottom of the grass, and you want the shadow multiplier to be, you want more shadow towards the lower parts of the grass as well, right? I haven't really thought about that one. Fuck, I want to experiment with that. Let's see. Good luck with helping your neighbor fabric, by the way. Yeah, that's probably true. Like what it comes down to now also, like I'm so used to Unity. I know how to work with a lot of parts. I would not be able to do that in Unreal Engine. Not at all. This looks pretty good. But yeah, I don't know how much time more I have today, but I think I want to experiment with shadow and ambient based on distance from ground. I think that would improve the visuals quite a bit. And luckily that's pretty easy to do, I think. Let's take a look at this one. So this is the information that we send down to the fragment shader. I thought we had this one. We don't need anymore. I don't think we use it. The way we use it is bad right now. Here we don't use it. But let's see. Like we should have, right now we use alpha as, if we're at the bottom, close to the ground, it's 0. If it's a grass, it's 1. I wonder, could we use this one? So I want to check input.a. We don't even use it here anymore. Is that actually... No, input.color.a. Yeah, I thought so. Fragment color. If yeah, of course. Yeah, we want to use some magic here. LU02415, by the way. Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Unreal is used for simple scripting games. Is that true? It all comes down to how we want to do this blending here. So if this one is equal to 0, then we do this lerp. Otherwise we do this. Okay, I get it. I think we can do this. If input color A is bigger than 0, then we do this. Otherwise we do this. So now instead what we have is this one is 0 if we're at ground level. It's between 0 and 1 if we're above ground level. Not really yet, but that's the comparison we're making. Ooh, we also send it in here. That's true. I want to double check this one as well. Calculate Blin Fong. Specular multiplier. Yeah. I think we're just gonna change this one to this, and then we're gonna do the final thing, which is yeah, I think we can do this, although I'm not extremely happy with it, but T. So T here is 0 when we're at the lowest level of a grass straw, and it's 1 right at the top. So what we make here is we make the lowest level 0.01 and we make the top 1. Could possibly even do a remap here instead. Maybe that's better. But the main part is we now have a value in the fragment shader that tells us how far along a grass straw we are. So 0 on the ground and then up to 1 along the grass straw. But then again, yes. Okay, so the idea here is did I change this one too much? No, I didn't. The idea here is that less ambient light and more shadow the closer to the ground we are. But the current approach we're doing is relative to grass straw length, which means that this grass straw will be we will handle the top of this grass straw the same we would this one. So we actually want yeah, we actually want to send in we need a value that is the absolute length, I would say, of the vertex, like the length of the vertex from the ground level. We can get that one pretty easily, since we have we calculate the maximum height, or we have the maximum height in this one. But then again, if we have a patch that is like this, we have relatively short grass, and I guess we want the ambient light to affect the bottom of this more than we want the ambient light to affect the bottom of this one. Yeah, and we can do that by reading we can read the grass texture, then we know how much grass we have for this position, and we already read that once, we don't need to add an additional read. And I'm also having, I think we're having some profiler, some garbage collection spikes. I want to look into that one as well. Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to the fragment shader so far, input color A is always used in a binary way. Like if it's bigger than 0, do something. If it's 0, do something else. So we can actually pack some data into it, some other type of data. But then, yeah. We're gonna play around with it as it is right now, see if it actually gives some visual gains, or like if it does make it better or not. So it's this one we want to affect, but it's also this one. Attenuation. Okay, grass receives shadow multiplier. That's just the... It's not really a multiplier, it's just the smallest value we have. Okay. Still not entirely sure about this. What's up, Peach? Appreciate the lurk. So what would happen if we take, it's called specular multiply right now. I'm going to use it in a little bit of a different way. And we do, if we take specular multiply and multiply here, let's see here. It's 0 on the ground. This is pretty much going to make, this is going to make the ground and the lower part of the grass be, attenuation value is going to be 0. So this one will be 0, which means we will always have this grass received shadow multiplier. Maybe. I want to add, have some debug value somewhere here. We don't use it, I think. Debug show grid. Yeah, it's commented out. So let's take this one and we do Peach, I'm chasing my tail with the Diablo-like inventory. Can't decide between an immutable data structure and observable. Immutable data. Like, what parts are you thinking about having as immutable data? The whole inventory state. How would that work? Is my question. Let's see here. Specular multiplier. I don't. Shit. How do I want to fix this? Let's just do it like this. Pow. So if this one is 0, this one is 1, right? Or this one is 1. If this one is 1, it's equal to this one. So if it's 0, we don't use this one. Do we get a difference with this? That's probably what we get, yeah. Oops. Yeah, so for this one we only get a change. Yeah, we don't have any shadows here. Where do we have the player? over here. And directional light. So if we do it like this, we have some shadows going on here. Oh, this is right at a patch. Okay, I think we're seeing shadows here. So what if we do this one and we do debug show grid 0. Why are we getting black here though? If this one is 0, this one becomes 1, so we just take this value and then we use this value here. Oh, we use this value here as well, that's true. But that's only the specular color. Now it's literally only the ground that changes from this one. Why? Oh. Okay, so we have 0 to the power of 0 here, and that one is... it works a little bit differently depending on... Yeah, okay, so we might end up with not a number here. That is not good. Let's do this then. If this one is equal to 0.0, we do specular multiplier, otherwise we do 1.0. Okay, so if this one is 0, then we use specular multiplier here, otherwise 1. Zero, then we use it 1. Yeah, we might not want to be 1, 0. It's a bit too harsh. But if we do... if it's equal to 0, we do specular multiplier. Let's do it like this. If it's not equal to 0, we do debug show grid multiplied with specular multiplier, otherwise we do 1. So 0, we have this, and then we can check. Is it that quick? Yeah, I'm tired. Otherwise we do debug show grid only, because spectral highlight is 0. Now we have what I want, I think. Yeah, there we go. So my question is, do we want to go... Do we want to add this? So the more dense it is, 0. So the taller grass we have here, like the higher we want this one to be. So if we have extremely tall grass like this, we probably want this one to be 0.8 or something like that. I don't know, 1. 0.8 or 0. Yeah, okay, so if we have extremely tall grass, we want this one to be like 0.2. But we don't want to affect the top of the grass like we're doing now. And if we just have short grass, we probably want to leave it at pretty high. Yeah, I think this can lead to, and this is only the shadow multiplier. Just yet we haven't started using the, or affecting the ambient light. So yeah, maybe. Page, it's useful in side effects like drawing UI. When the data structure changes, it notifies its subscribers, and they in turn check for slices of the data. And if they are different from the last known state, they redraw themselves. Yeah. Diablo styled inventory. So like, if you go with immutable data in a Diablo style like inventory, would that mean that you would have to like recreate the whole inventory when the player or when the user moves one item around in the inventory? Yeah, that's a famous Tetris inventory indeed. I'm one of those freaks that actually likes inventory management. I have an experimental idea of how I want to handle inventory in this game, and I think it's going to annoy some users. Definitely want to get the inventory out to testers early to see if I can keep it like that. No, only when the item changes. Okay, so like if the player picks up a new item, the whole inventory needs to be redone. Am I understanding this correctly? Is that the immutable data approach? Or fuck, it's a hard problem. Okay, I also want to change I also want to affect the ambient color here. So we have debug show grid. The bigger it is, the darker we want things to be. So we have light ambient color, grass ambient constant. I guess we want to do 1 minus this one. No. Or yeah. So if this one is 1, we don't affect the ambient color. If this one is less, we make this one darker. Yeah, I want to try this. Yeah, but we also want to base it on the distance of the grass. The underlying data structures will be a new one, but the slices themselves have the same values. Okay, I'm starting to shed some light on this. Fuck, like, as soon as we start talking inventory stuff, like the hardest part, according to me, when it comes to inventories, has always been the visual representation of the inventory. Getting the visual representation and the actual inventory to sync. And correct me if I'm wrong, that is roughly what we're working with right now, right? Or is it that problem you want to solve with the immutable data? Yeah. I think we want to do this as well, or do we? This is not really what we want, but yeah, this might. I think we can create some nice effect with this. If we base it on grass height relative to max height, and yeah, if we do some more magic here, I think this might improve the visuals a tiny bit. So it's all about making the ground level darker if we have tall, dense grass there. Yeah, I think we want this functionality. Yeah, please do, Peach, and I might throw you some question as well. Like when it's going to get time for me to implement the inventory in this game. Yeah, so what we're gonna do here is we're going to base when we calculate this value, gonna do it with a lot more reference values than we currently are. We need this value is it this value? Yeah, or actually we need this value. So this tells us what the tallest grass, how tall the tallest grass straw is. And then we need this value. This one tells us roughly how tall the grass is in this area. This one we have access to everywhere in the shader. This one we don't, but we do send it in here. We don't do it here. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, I won't have the time to implement it today because I gotta run. It's that time. But I'm gonna pick this up right at this point tomorrow. Feels a little bit sad to end it here, but yeah, I gotta run. But as always, thank you so much for watching. It's really appreciated. And have a great rest of the day. There's no place to run. I'm just gonna pull the cord. But yeah, have a great rest of the day, everybody. Peace.